This Transmissions Trips to the Store video has been brought to you with the help of listeners like you. Without Patreon support, Transmissions would not be the show it is today. You can sign up for Patreon at www.transmissionspodcast.com/support.
Welcome to the Transmissions Trips to the Store, where we show off all the cool Transformer stuff we got this week. This video is part of our regular Transmissions podcast. You can check it out at our website, transmissionspodcast.com. We do 2 shows every week. We're professionals. Every Wednesday, we talk all about Transformers toys, and Trips to the Store is a part of that. So if you're watching and listening to this, I assume you're listening to that show. And then every Friday, we do Transmissions Alt Mode, which is all about Transformers comics and media. This week, we are down a couple of hosts. Jeremy and Yoshi couldn't make it. But we got Aaron from WTF at TFW.
Hey,
he's
how you
here with
doing?
us.
Didn't realize
Good.
I needed a camera until like 5 minutes ago, and I've got one somewhere, but no idea where that is. So you get to see Andy Roo in the bottom corner for now.
We're making it work. We're making it work. All right. As always, Transmissions is fully supported by you, our donatrions, people who give us money on PayPal and Patreon. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. And for those of you who have not taken the plunge but are thinking about it, just go to transmissionspodcast.com/support. And that's how you can figure out how to do that. All right. Let's get into the stuff we got this week. I'm going to start off. I just got one thing. So I mentioned last week that I went to a signing for Tom Scioli, where I signed GoBot, got his GoBots comic signed. Also, the Transformers versus G.I. Joe comics, got those signed too. So it was great meeting Tom at that signing. And I looked around that comic shop. That's a comic shop I don't normally go to. It's Phantom of the Attic in Oakland, Pittsburgh, where my normal store is Phantom of the Attic, Monroeville, which is a suburb of Pittsburgh. You don't really care about that, but anyway, the point is that was a store I don't visit frequently, and they had some Transformers items, and I found some Titans Returns twins. I found Cloudraker and Wingspan, so that's the Walmart exclusive pack.
Walgreens.
Or Wal-Greens, yeah. Sorry,
it's on a sticker right there.
Well, yes. I'm looking at the back of the box at the moment. Yeah, so I never tracked this down, and they had it at this comic shop. I guess they acquired it from Wal-Greens or somebody else and were selling it, so I picked it up. So that's what I got. Haven't opened it yet. I will open it, I promise.
I'll never open it.
But
so have you messed with the other halves of those twins?
I have the other Autobot. I did not get the other box set that had the Decepticon in it.
Okay.
So I will have 2 Autobot clones, but only 1 Decepticon clone. But I'm okay with that. So that's what I got. All right. Aaron, I'll hand it off to you.
So I got a bunch of Siege for Cybertron, but the one that I've really been enjoying lately, and I figured I'd talk about, is Cog. And I didn't expect myself to enjoy him so much. Not so much for just like the transformation that he does, but the fact that he's a weaponizer. So I also got Sideswipe at the same time. And it's really cool because Cog just becomes a bunch of different weapons that can go on Sideswipe. So like this image here, I think one of the instructions for Cog have like the different ways that you can like stack him onto stuff, and one was like an offense mode, and then this one was like the defense mode because go-go boots are defensive or something. But just the way that he comes apart, so his like upper torso comes apart very easily, and it's actually like his transformation. So his upper torso and arms make like, what is it, like one of them is Gasket and one of them is Grommet, and together they become Cog. And so then his legs then are a separate thing, and can separate from like basically like the pelvic girdle. But so like with the offensive mode, you can take there's a peg that's like would be at like the small of his back that fits. So all of the Siege Deluxes have, as part of just the standard stuff that like I think we kind of saw the beginnings of early on, all of them have a central peg hole that ends up in the middle of their back. So for like this mode here, it fits perfectly for that to then peg so that you can have the bottoms of his feet, which have paint and look like guns. You can stack other stuff into that to make them more, even more impressive cannons. And then the way that his like upper body can fold 2 or 3 different ways around to have pegs be accessible. And so then the second part of it, where it is the offensive or the defensive mode, where I think we saw with like Shockwave, who isn't out yet, how he had like the mode that it looks like he has another set of like legs stacked on his shoulders. All of the deluxes at least have peg holes in the side of the shoulder, so that like here where the upper body connects in that fashion gives that a spot where that sort of armor piece can plug in. So it was between Cog and Sideswipe and getting to start to see what the play pattern is in Siege, especially if more of these weaponizers, because we've seen Brunt and Six Gun already, and other stuff. If there are other, like if they just come up with more of these things whole cloth for later waves, I'm going to be super excited about that prospect, because just stacking things on top of things seems like it hits a fundamental neat spot. I kind of want to get 2 more cogs just to see how many layers of go-go boot I can give. I figured cool. I'd make that my my quick one and done.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
All right, Darryl, finish us off.
All right. Well, if you'll remember, last week we talked about an order that I had made to Hasbro Toy Shop. It arrived. I was beyond surprised because I didn't expect it to be here. So I'm not going to show all of it because I did order quite a bit of Siege. But I will show off 2 figures that I did open up and mess with. I got Megatron and Optimus. So
nice.
These are pretty cool. Let's go with Optimus first. Optimus, he's smaller than I thought he was going to be, but he's Voyager scale, I guess. He's got an interesting transformation. I think the most interesting part was how the wheels are in his like abdomen here, in the sides, and they end up down here, which is kind of interesting. And then how everything just kind of folds back. It's very cool. And then this piece here, which everyone was really complaining about, there's the rest of the front is on the back there. So this thing just kind of folds over top of them and then comes around the top and then covers up after you open up this and everything. It's an interesting transformation, just to say the least, and I'll let everyone kind of experience it on their own, just to see how interesting it can be. I did actually really like just kind of messing with it. The truck mode is pretty well done. I mean, you get the little headlights on the roof, which I don't care about. They're not that big of a deal. The forearms are a little wide, but that'll be okay. I'll be able to deal with that. That's your front headlights there, but whatever.
Look down those front headlights. They're like Gatling guns.
I know, right? They're cool. Now I I want to think of them more as like LEDs. So
Oh, so he's just energy efficient?
that's right. Yeah. Now Megatron, on the other hand, he was frustrating to transform. Whether I try to do them without the instructions, but I ran into some frustration with him because he seemed like he didn't do enough. Maybe he was oversimplified, and I was expecting him to do more. I feel Chris's pain because he showed off a thing on Twitter, I think it was, where the head just doesn't stay up, and it's just it's you know, and it's part of the transformation where it goes down. But I mean, the bar that it's on there is strong enough to keep it in one spot, but I wish it was a little bit more secured.
Just kind of mine just kind of mopes a little bit.
No.
It's like
I do like the backpack is beefy enough to kind of give him that like if you wanted him to be like IDW style, like Origins Megatron, he could be. But other than that, I do really like the rest of the look of him. He's very G1. I haven't tried to take off any of the battle damage yet. From what I understand, it's very easy. So I'm not worried too much about it. One of the parts on the Optimus is right over top of the insignia on his shoulder. I don't care. I've got lots of repro labels that I can use it on. But this one here, he was kind of cool. The arm cannon is quintessential. It's perfect size arm cannon for him. This sword, I was trying to figure out, and like I said, I haven't looked at any of the instructions, whether you can actually move these blades away from the end of that. I mean, it's supposed to separate.
You wrote, okay, you got it separated now. Now you can just rotate them together around the keep going.
Together. Okay. Oh, I see.
So they're on the
there
same
you go.
pivot. So when you make him a tank, you take
Cool.
you take the part that is closest to your hand and you plug it into his barrel. Or into the not into the barrel, into the I think about like that, yeah. So then that ends up being his tank barrel, and the blade slides underneath the turret.
Cool. All right. Well, I'll mess around with that a bit, but yeah, it's fun. They're good figures. I do have, and I'll show them off on future shows. I do have all 4 deluxes, and I do have the weaponizer guys. I'm staying away from the Micromasters because, like I said before, I've got all of them originally, and they really haven't changed much. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm really looking forward to opening up COG and seeing what I can do with him, like you said, Aaron. So yeah, he'll be fun. But that's it. That's what I got this week.
All right. So that will do it for this episode of Trips to the Store. Thanks, everyone, for watching and listening. And again, want to remind you that we are fully supported by Patreon and PayPal. So go to transmissionspodcast.com/support. That's how you can support us. If you want to leave us feedback, you can go to transmissionspodcast.com/feedback. And that's where you can leave us emails, voicemails, comment on social media, lots of good ways to get in touch with us. You can even leave comments right below in this video on YouTube. So we'll see you out there. Bye, everybody.
Later.
Take care.